Hi, y'all. Beth here. I have really enjoyed sharing my carnivore journey with you so far. I have had exactly 9 months of my carnivore journey, and I have enjoyed sharing, I don't know, 6 or 7 videos with you so far. Somebody said in one of the videos that they would like meal cooking demo kind of things, actually more practical ideas on how to eat carnivore. I mean, the day to day ins and outs of what I actually eat. And I have always enjoyed watching cooking videos, but I will tell you, they make it look a lot easier than it actually is. It's hard to do cooking videos, I guess, maybe when you're by yourself and you don't have a production team and just using an iPhone and a tripod and whatnot. So I have had a lot of fun playing with this. And I actually ended up with 20 different meals that I videoed over the last few weeks. So I'm going to share with you those meals, and I'm definitely going to divide this up into 2 sections. It has become currently, without a lot of editing, it's about an hour and 45 minutes, and I don't think anybody wants to sit and watch an hour and 45 minutes of cooking videos. So I'm going to split it up, and I'm going to probably put 10 meals and then 10 meals together in 2 separate videos for you. Now, here's where I am. I did 90 days of very strict carnivore in the beginning of my journey. So that was February, March, and April. Today is currently November 1st. So I have gradually, over the last few months, become more what you would call dirty carnivore. So I do now use spices. I do use pepper. I do occasionally eat a pickle or some relish or some marinara sauce or some sauerkraut. And those are the only 3 things that I've really added back into my diet besides just meat. So that would be pickles, sauerkraut, and marinara sauce. So I occasionally add those to my meals, but if you are in your initial stages of carnivore and you're trying to keep it very, very clean, do not add those things in yet. Add those things in after you've already done at least 90 days of pure carnivore and you see how your body feels with that. I felt amazing after my first 90 days, and I knew I wanted to continue on with this plan. I have just added things slowly along the way. One thing I really missed in my first 90 days was spices. So I do put spices and seasonings on my food now, mostly just pepper, occasionally some garlic powder, some onion powder. So you'll see some of that in these videos, but just know that any of the recipes that I give you, you can alter to suit your current needs. So I don't want to cause anybody to stumble by watching these videos and go, oh, well, she said I could eat Italian seasoning. Yes, you can. You always can. Remember, it's a choice. You can choose to eat those things. Your results just may not be as good as if you didn't. So the second thing is, here's a disclaimer. Whenever I watch cooking videos, and I have a pretty good deal in the past, I get hungry. So just know that if you get hungry while watching these videos, number one, that means I guess I did a pretty good job of making the food look good. And secondly, go for the meat. Go for the meat. Don't get hungry and go look for something that you're not supposed to eat and blame me and my videos. That is not a good plan. So go look for the meat when you feel like you might be hungry. And the other thing is, I say this several times during these videos, do not overcomplicate this. I'm going to show you basically 20 different meals over the next couple of videos, and they're all very, very similar. I personally would be happy with eggs and bacon for breakfast, a beef patty of some sort with an egg or cheese or bacon for lunch, and a ribeye for dinner. I do not live to eat anymore. I eat to live. And those are the foods that make me feel the best, and I know this. So I would be very happy to do that, although I do appreciate a little bit of variety. So that's what you're going to see in these videos is a little bit of variety, a little bit of options. Hopefully it'll inspire you. Hopefully it'll help you realize that this is a very sustainable meal plan and you can do this forever. You can do it forever 100% clean, or you can do it forever with a few tweaks that your body responds well to, and you'll figure out what those are along the way. I promise. I promise. Thank you for hanging with me. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know how you feel about it down below. And I look forward to talking with you in future videos.
Good morning. So the first thing I do every morning when I wake up is have my coffee with butter in it. I set my coffee pot. I figured out how to program my coffee pot, y'all. I set it to start brewing the coffee at 5:30 in the morning. I grind my beans the night before, put them in here, fill up the pot with the water from the Berkey filter, and set my coffee to go off at 5:30 in the morning so it's ready when I get up. And I love this habit. I read the book Atomic Habits, and this was one habit that I wanted to start, and this has been going on for about 2 months now, and it has been a game changer in my mornings. So wake up, the coffee is ready. So this is what I do with my coffee. I pour a little bit in here. I can't pour it full because when I use my little blender thing, it'll spill out. And then I just use this whisk to grab a bunch of butter, put the butter in the coffee, and oops, see, it still spills sometimes. Let it rip. So now my butter is getting blended up in my coffee and melting and getting real nice and yummy, frothy. And now that that's blended up, I can add the rest of the coffee. So 1 cup of butter coffee, first thing in the morning, gets me going. So it's Monday, and I always like to go into the week with some boiled eggs in the refrigerator so that I have them in case I need them at any time coming on. Down the road, I might just grab a boiled egg and take it with me in the morning. I might make an egg salad. I'll eat a boiled egg as a snack, but I really find it useful to have 6 to 8 boiled eggs sitting in the refrigerator ready to go at the beginning of each week. Sometimes I have to make a few more later on in the week. So we've got a small saucepan here, and I have just dropped 6 eggs in there, and it fits perfectly. And we're just going to let those babies go. I boil them. Once they reach boiling, I let them boil for 5 minutes, then I turn them off. And then I let them sit in the hot water for a little bit and run them under cold water, and then they peel real easily when it's time to do that. Can't believe I'm doing a video on how to boil eggs. But anyway, they've been boiling for 5 minutes. I set the timer. I'm just going to turn them off and let them sit there. So it's lunchtime, 12:22, and I just got done with tennis. Today's a tennis day. So here's one thing. Tell me you're a carnivore without telling me you're a carnivore. And I always now have grease stains on my shirts. So I actually have kind of started wearing an apron sometimes when I cook, but I'm not going to get it out right now. So it's lunchtime. I have not had anything to eat since I had my butter coffee this morning at like 6 o'clock. So going to make my lunch. And today it's going to be burgers. And so that was ground beef that we had bought at Costco and took 6 pounds and split it up into 5 sections. And so this is a little over a pound. So each one of these burgers is going to be a little over a quarter pound. And we have this cute little burger maker thing. You don't need this, but I do like it. And it makes the burgers nice and symmetrical. So just put it down in there. Mash those babies out. All right, so we're going to take that, mash them out. Well, 2. So I'm going to turn on my burner, get it going up on high. Got a little old time rock and roll going in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Forgot to turn off the music before I got started. So there's my burger patties. I'm also, with my burger patties, going to have a fried egg and some Havarti cheese. And what I'm going to use for, just wash my hands. What I'm going to use for seasoning is this Redmond's Real Salt Chef's Blend. It is a smoked salt, so it doesn't have any plants in it. It's just salt and smoked flavor from actually being smoked. So I like to put it on before I get these on here. Once that gets hot, we're going to pop the burgers on there. Okay, my pan is hot. Just put some water on there and it danced. So I'm going to drop these burgers in here. I'm going to drop them in there salty side down. And now I'm going to salt the other side. And here's my problem. I always want to turn them too soon. Just let them go. Just let it go. My grandmother used to say, don't worry them. Don't worry them. Just let them go. There's a lot of ways you can do these burgers. Of course, you could grill them. You could do them in an air fryer if you have that. I just like doing them on the stove. This little thing is good to keep the stove from getting too terribly dirty, although my stove is almost always greasy. That's another thing. You can tell a carnivore because they got a greasy stove. All right, so they've been going a minute. Let's see. I want them a little more brown. Let them go a little bit longer. So I've turned them, smashed them a little bit, and they need to cook a little bit longer. Get the inside done enough. Now, I eat burgers medium rare now. I like them with a little bit of pink on the inside. In the past, I would have made sure my burger was cooked all the way through, no pink. But now I like them with a little bit of pink in the middle, so I'm not going to let these get overcooked. So I turned them again, and I smashed them a little bit more. There's still some pink coming out of them. But I'm going to turn the heat down now. Turn the fan off so you can hear me. I'm going to turn the heat down now, and now I'm going to add the cheese. And I have this Havarti cheese from Costco. I'm only going to add the cheese to 2 of them, because at the most I will eat 2 right now. DJ's not here. He may come in hungry and may want the other 2, but I'm not going to put cheese on them until I'm sure if he's going to come in and eat them. The cheese is a little bit bigger than the burgers, so I did it like that. Again, I'm going to put the top back on. Let those sizzle a minute and melt the cheese. Okay, my cheese is melty. I took 2 off already because I didn't want them to get overcooked. My cheese hadn't melted yet. So I'm going to take my burgers off, stick them on the plate. Now I'm going to do my eggs. So before I do my eggs, I don't have enough grease in there because it's only 88.12. So really not enough grease. I'll turn this down a little bit too. So this is beef tallow that I made last time we brought ribeye home from Costco. Had some beef tallow. I boiled down the fat that BJ trimmed off the ribeye. And I made some homemade beef tallow. Now I got that everywhere. My grease is everywhere. This stuff's just sitting on the side, burning up. It's probably mostly salt. Might be better off not putting the salt on in the beginning like I do. All right, so you get to watch me do the hardest thing. I need 1 egg for each burger. And cracking an egg with an audience is not easy. So here we go. Yep, not pretty. But I put it in there, in that grease. And that grease. Now, I don't want my eggs overly cooked because I like that runny yolk. I am worrying these eggs a little. I'm trying to make sure they don't stick. All right, that one's loose. That one's loose. All right, we ready. Flip it. Flip it. Just give it a few seconds on the other side. That one is perfect. And if that cheese isn't quite melted, that hot grease from that beef tallow, we'll get that baby melted. Here we go, y'all. 2 burgers, 2 pieces of Havarti cheese, 2 fried eggs, fried in a little bit of extra beef tallow. I'm so hungry. It is 12:41. This is the first thing I've eaten all day. Can't wait. All right, I put the cheese and the eggs up and I've got my here. Now I am going to add a pickle. Remember, I'm past my first 90 days and I like to add 1 dill pickle. This is the Grillo's pickles. The nutrition facts on these are 5 calories. So that is 1 gram of total carbs. I'm adding 1 gram of carbs, no sugar. And then I'm also going to add a little brown mustard. And this also has 5 calories, but it says 0 carbs. If you had a ton of it, it would obviously add up to some carbs. And then for my drink, I'm just going to have a LaCroix, which is 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar. And it's not sweet, so I don't have a problem with it. And I'm not concerned about it spiking my blood sugar, although it does have naturally essenced, natural flavors. Carbonated water, naturally essenced. Now, I know that natural flavors aren't necessarily natural. I don't know what naturally essenced means, but I do like a LaCroix. I do like a little sparkle. And this is the tangerine flavor. Not my favorite, but it's what they had at Costco. So let's just go ahead and cut in. Oh, look at that runny yolk. Look at that runny yolk. And cheese is nice and cheesy. And the meat is perfectly cooked. So, thanks for joining me. See you next time. So just for gigs, because I'm doing a tracking challenge right now and I'm having to put all of my meals into the Carb Manager app for tracking, I put this lunch into the Carb Manager app, and the burger patties have, for 2 of them, 480 calories, 42 grams of protein, and 34 grams of fat. The cheese for 2 slices has 220 calories, 12 grams of protein, and 18 grams of fat. And the eggs for 2 fried eggs had 202 calories, 13 grams of protein, and 16 grams of fat, and 1 gram of carbs. Plus the 1 gram of carbs from here gives a total of 902 calories, 67 grams of protein, and 68 grams of fat, and 2 grams of carbs for this lunch. Sounds like a lot, but remember, it's my first meal of the day, and my total calories that I get, I've just generally put in a 1,600 calorie goal. That's just for me at this point. I sometimes go over, I frequently go under, but my goal is 1,600 calories, and my main goal that I really want to hit is 120 grams of protein. So I don't usually have trouble hitting my protein goals, but that's what that is. So that was a great lunch, 902 calories, and I feel amazing. Let's get to the rest of the day, and I will be back for dinner. All right, Chef BJ is making his famous chicken parmesan tonight.
Well, I wouldn't say famous, but it's been pretty good the last few times we did it.
Yes, it has.
So, and it's all straight carnivore.
Except
I will add a little tomato
except that.
marinara.
A little bit of that at the end.
So let's just call it keto-friendly, if there is such a thing.
There is such a thing.
So I'm going to trim these things up, get a little bit of this extra fat off of them, and then probably cut these in this big one in half and make 2 of them, maybe this one too. So we've got the chicken prepared. We've cut those 2 chicken thighs into, it's 4 equal parts to make 4 chicken parmesans. Now, Beth is going on and she is grating the Parmesan cheese. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this little guy right here, which are the pork rind panko crumbs. And we're going to mix that with a little bit of salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning.
Not carnivore.
Just a little bit to give it a little bit of that Italian.
I know, but oh my gosh, Cricket. Are you thirsty, love?
And then we'll add a little of the Parmesan cheese to the mixture in one of these bowls. Then I'll make a little egg wash in another bowl. Once we get these flattened out a little bit, then we're going to run that through the egg wash and then into the panko crumb mixture, and then use the ghee in the skillet and fry that on both sides, probably about no more than 3 minutes each. Put it on the baking tray, slide it in the oven for about 12 minutes. Well, we want this to be somewhere a lot thinner than the thicker it is, the longer it's going to take. And plus, chicken parmesan is traditionally served at very thin chicken. So we're doing that to basically stay genuine to the recipe. And plus, it's just easier to eat that way.
Here's the grated Parmesan. This is a mixture of the pork panko, the Parmesan, a little bit of Italian seasoning, and some salt and pepper. So this is ghee that we saved from the last time that we did this. Put it in a bowl and just plopped it out here. Gonna let that melt.
All right, so I'm gonna dredge these through the egg wash, straight into the panko, pork rinds, Parmesan, get it all good and coated. I want to get this as coated as much as possible.
So we're only going to heat up a little bit of the Rayos because we don't need much. Turn it already?
Yeah, this one's
Turned it.
ready to go.
One more to do.
Now we're gonna put this in the oven for about 7 to 10 minutes. Let it go in and finish cooking. Then we'll add the cheese and just put it back in the oven. Let it melt.
350-degree oven.
Parmesan on top. Gonna use all of it. Now we're gonna go back in the oven. I'm gonna set it for 5 minutes, but we'll check it. But yeah, pretty much just to make sure the cheese is melted.
Cricket, are you helping?
I'm waiting for something to fall on the floor. Chicken parm.
So here we are. We have our chicken parmesan, carnivore style. Let's taste it. Little dab of that. Hot. Oh yeah. That chicken is perfectly cooked. We also have a glass of wine. It's an Italian wine. It's a very light wine, almost like a Pinot Noir. It's a Valpolicella. It was a little bit left over that was open from the weekend, so it's Monday. Got to finish it up. Won't be good.
Gotta go.
By next weekend. So, thanks for joining us. See you next time. Tuesday, just got done with tennis. We put out food. Nope. 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 Definitely nope. Nope. And nope. Guess I'll have a Country Archer beef stick and go home for lunch. It's Tuesday. It was another tennis day today. And I'm going to show you the video of the food that they offered at tennis on this soft court league that I play in. The clubs usually provide some sort of a lunch for the players. So there was nothing I could eat. But you know what? It didn't bother me because I was thinking about these leftover burger patties from yesterday and how I couldn't wait to get home and have some of these. So what I'm going to do with these today is I'm going to stick them in the air fryer to heat up. I'm going to make some bacon to go on them, and I have some Boar's Head American or white cheddar cheese that I'm going to put on top of that. So it's going to be a bacon cheeseburger today. Stick with me. So just going to throw some of the Kirkland bacon. 0 carbohydrates, pork, water, salt, sugar, sodium phosphorus, sodium erythrobate, and sodium nitrite. Well, there's some sugar in here. And it says 0 total carbohydrates. So we're going for it. Been eating it, haven't had a trouble. I'm not one of those people that gets triggered by carbs. I know that carbs are very addictive. My son Corey struggles with carb addiction. But I'm the kind of person, always, I've been able to eat a candy bar or like a small snack size candy bar and walk away and not have any trouble with it. Now if I want to, I can have a berry and put the rest away. I don't have a problem with carb addiction. So some people do. If you do, don't eat the bacon with the sugar in it. Find you some that doesn't have any. So this is just going to go in the microwave for 5 minutes. It's not my favorite way to cook it, but it's 11:52 and I'm getting hungry because I played tennis. So I'm going to stick this in the microwave. I'm going to stick the burgers in the air fryer and I'll be back with you. My air fryer is just a glorified toaster oven. It's a toaster oven that has a convection setting. So I'm going to put these on this little pan and pop them in there at 350 for about 10 minutes and they should be warm. So the burgers have been in the convection oven for about 5 minutes. Start to warm up. So I'm going to take them out. I'm going to put the cheese on them and stick them back in there. 2 slices of boar's head white cheddar. Again, I'm going to do them in this little cross because they're a little bit smaller than the cheese. And stick them back in there until that cheese melts, probably about 4 or 5 minutes. While that's in there, I'm going to go ahead and pull out some ribeyes for dinner tonight from the freezer. So those are going to sit in the sink and thaw. All right, the burgers are done. I'm going to get them out of the air fryer. Cheese is nice and melty. Two burgers. 4 slices of bacon. I am going to use a little bit of this brown mustard. Same stuff I used yesterday. It's gonna sit there, a little dollop. And for my drink, I've got raspberry element that I made after I finished playing tennis. It's still some in my bottle. Actually, there's a lot in my bottle because I filled more water in there. And just add more water, add more water, add more water. So this is water that has a slight element flavor, and that's gonna be my drink today. Thanks for joining me. See you at dinner time. So tonight, BJ's going to cook ribeyes on the grill. Easy peasy meal. So I'm just going to salt these. He's had them drying. Just a little bit of salt on both sides. He's going to pop them on the grill. Somebody decided they needed pepper too. So tonight, the meal is going to be very simple. We are going to throw these 2 ribeyes on the grill. No mess, no fuss. BJ's going to cook them to perfection, and that's going to be our dinner. I'm also going to make some gorgonzola butter to go on top of them, and I will show you how to do that. So what is the secret to making a perfect ribeye?
15 minutes total, about 2 minutes turning. I like the grill temp to be right about 350. And that's all there is to it.
To go along with our wonderful ribeye steaks that he's outside cooking, I'm going to make gorgonzola butter. And this is just a little bit of gorgonzola cheese in a bowl. It is the big block of gorgonzola from Costco. And then I'm just going to whack off a bit of butter and put it in there. And then just start mashing it with a fork until it makes a nice little creamy mixture. And then when you put that on top of your steak, it'll melt real nicely and it'll give it a nice extra flavor. And so that is our kind of our side or our condiment or our sauce that we put on our ribeyes. It's really yummy. You need to give it a try. There we go. I'm going to put a little gorgonzola butter on top of mine. Let that start melting, and it'll be really yummy. And also, I like to add this flaky salt. Maldon's flaky salt. And that gives it a little bit of, I think it's called a finishing salt. Gives it a little bit of crunch. You want some on yours?
That's good.
There we go. So, carnivore, that's dinner. It's all you need. Lunch. This is going to be very, very simple. I'm really not hungry yet. It's 10:40, but my husband, BJ, and I have to go run an errand. It's going to take a few hours, so I want to go ahead and grab some lunch now so that I don't get so hungry while I'm gone that I am tempted to make a bad decision. So the great thing about the carnivore diet is it is so simple. Don't make it hard. So these are the Teton 100% grass-fed beef hot dogs. I'm just going to stick them. I'm going to go ahead and do some for him too. He might eat with me before we go. My husband is not 100% carnivore. He is mostly carnivore, but he does still eat plants. So I haven't been able to change that in him yet. So we're just going to pop these in the air fryer on 400 for about 5 minutes, and they're going to be ready. And that's it. While those dogs are cooking, I'm gonna have Topo Chico with my lunch today. This is just an unflavored, unsweetened mineral water. Zeros all the way down. Actually, there's a 1 there. 15 milligrams of sodium. I didn't realize that. Anyway, that's all right. Sodium's good. I added a little bit of lime. I'm drinking it in a wine glass because, you know, Carnivino. I like drinking out of nice glasses. I don't like drinking out of plastic. So that's going to be my drink with my lunch today. All right, it's been 5 minutes. These have plumped up nicely. They're all ready to go, nice and hot. And to be honest, they were actually a tad bit frozen when I put them on here. So that's awesome. So 2 hot dogs. Actually, I shared this before in my previous videos. I do like some sauerkraut with the dogs. So I'm gonna just give myself a little bit of sauerkraut. Now, if you don't do any vegetables, don't even consider this. But, you know, I'm kind of between carnivore and ketovore because I do consume a few low carb vegetables such as dill pickles and sauerkraut. So that's my lunch. 2 dogs and kraut. Simple as pie. Literally took 6 minutes. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Hey, I'm a little bit hungry for a snack today. That doesn't usually happen. So I have this buffalo chicken dip that I made over the weekend because we are in Alabama and we love to watch college football, and I like tailgate kind of foods when I watch football. So I made this buffalo chicken dip. It is 2 large cans of Kirkland chicken, 1 block of Philly cream cheese, 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar, and 1 bottle of the Primal Kitchen buffalo sauce. Back in the day, I would put onions and celery in it to make sure we got some healthy vegetables, but I don't do that anymore. So today I'm going to heat up a little on the stove and eat it with some pork rinds. That's going to be a little snack. I heated up the buffalo chicken dip. 2 cans of chicken, 1 block of cream cheese, 1 cup of cheddar cheese, and 1 bottle of Primal Kitchen buffalo sauce. Mix it up. I put it in my KitchenAid mixer, mix it up real well, and then stick it in the oven till it's melty. And My non-carnivore husband puts it on tortilla chips. He prefers it on Fritos, which I do not approve of, but I use Max Original pork skins, and these have 80 calories, 6 grams from fat, and 0 grams of carbohydrate and 8 grams of protein. So that's a pretty good little snack. I'm gonna pour a little bit of these in here. I'm gonna take this over there. I've got Carrie Mann, Homestead How, gonna sit down, eat my snack, and watch a little Carrie Mann. I will see you later. So for this dinner, we are making salmon. We're gonna do it in the oven somehow, not on the grill. And I have requested my salmon to have a little basil pesto on it. But Mr. Non-carnivore over here is gonna put some sweet chili sauce on his. This is not carnivore. This is not carnivore either, but it's low carb. So that's what I'm going with. Another option is this Primal Kitchen Island Teriyaki sauce. The best option is just to put salt and pepper on them and put them in the oven. That's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna put salt and pepper on them, put them in the oven, let them cook, and then the sauces are gonna go on at the end. These are the wild-caught Alaskan sockeye salmon from Costco, and he has just put salt and pepper on them. He's going to sear them in a frying pan in ghee and then finish them in the oven. This is the ghee that we're currently using. We're almost out of it. We got that at Costco. This is why you have to pay attention to these things. I assumed this had olive oil in it. It does have olive oil in it. But the number 1 ingredient is basil, and the number 2 ingredient is sunflower oil. And then down after it says Parmesan, blah, 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 Pecorino Romano, blah, 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 olive oil, pine nuts, way down at the bottom. So be careful when buying things. This is why you have to read the labels. I had this a few weeks ago. I may have had a reaction, I may not. I didn't pay attention to it. I might have felt bad one day and didn't know why. Don't eat this. Read the labels. Now, this is my second choice. A teriyaki sauce. 20 calories per serving, 4 total grams of carbohydrates, and organic coconut aminos, Himalayan salt, organic pineapple juice concentrate, organic mango puree, organic date paste. There are fruits in here. And it's 4 grams of carbohydrates for 1 serving, which is a tablespoon. That might be an option somebody could make. This, not an option. If you're gonna go ketovore and you're gonna use pesto sauce, you might have to make your own. Sorry. So here we go. The salmon has been seared in the frying pan, put in the oven for a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of this butter and teriyaki sauce, pour it on top of mine. And then we're gonna get this out of here, put it on a plate, and voila, that's dinner. Salmon. That's it. Good morning, Beth here. This morning I just wanted to share with you that I made a tray of bacon in the oven at 400 degrees. It's thick sliced bacon, Kirkland, and 400 degrees for 20 minutes in that tray. And now I have a stash of refrigerator bacon. What we like to call bacon around here is carnivore candy. It's good to have some around in case you ever get hungry in the middle of the afternoon or you want some bacon to throw on your burger. So we keep a little bit of bacon around. Try to keep it cooked in the fridge at all times. So this is lunch, and I decided to kind of take an easy way out again today. I did not have any homemade chicken broth, so I used some store-bought chicken broth. Just started heating it up on the stove. I had some chicken thighs that we had cooked on Sunday afternoon. They needed to be eaten. Today's Thursday. They're done. They owed me nothing. So I dropped them in here with the chicken broth. So I just cut up the chicken thighs and put them in there. And now I'm going to do like an egg drop soup. I already dropped a couple in there, and then I remembered, oh, I'm supposed to be filming stuff this week. So to do an egg drop soup, you just drop some scrambled egg into the hot broth, and it's going to cook it immediately. And you just slightly stir it and keep dropping in the broth. Dropping in the eggs into the broth, and it's going to make your little egg drop soup. See the little pieces of scrambled egg that are cooking here? So you're supposed to constantly keep it stirring slowly in a circle and dropping in your egg. And it just cooks that egg little by little, and it makes it so yummy. Y'all, I did this a few weeks ago when a friend shared this recipe with me, and oh, it was so good. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep dropping this egg in there little by little till it all cooks. So that was one box of chicken broth, store-bought chicken broth. Not the best. They use vegetables, but it doesn't have any carbs in it, so I went with it. I like to make my own chicken broth, and it doesn't have any vegetables in it. So there's one box of broth, 2 chicken thighs that had been grilled on Sunday, and then that was 3 eggs that I scrambled into a little measuring cup and added some salt and pepper. I'm going to put this in a bowl and use pork rinds as my wonton. And it's so good, y'all. So good. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so the egg drop soup, really yummy. I already tasted it. Corey called while I was getting ready to eat my soup. So I've been talking to him and ate some soup. So I'm going to take these Max pork rinds, kind of crush them up in there, and that makes a little wonton. Oh, they go snap, crackle, pop. Lucky Cricket wants some. Hey, girl. Great lunch, y'all. And it's cool today. I have on a puffy vest for the first time. It's a good day for a nice bowl of hot soup. Right, girl? See you at dinner.
So there were the first 10 recipes, 10 cooking demos, so to speak. I can't believe I actually did a cooking demo on how to boil eggs, but I did. But I do think it's important to know those little tips. Keep those foods handy so that when you get hungry in the middle of the day, or you need something, a quick snack or a quick meal, or a oops, I haven't planned for tonight, then you have something that you can go to. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please look forward to the next one. Should be dropping in the next 5 or 6 days. Bye now.